What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking every Star Wars Starfighter from the original trilogy and the prequels. So let's just get right into it. Wikipedia defines a starfighter as small, fast, maneuverable, and heavily armed starship using direct confrontations between opposing forces. So that is the definition that I'm using for this video. If you feel like I missed one, or like there's one that's in here that probably shouldn't be, take it up with Wikipedia, okay? because that's where I got most of my information. Some of it came from Wikipedia, but let's just get right into it. So here's the list of the starfighters from the original trilogy and the prequel films that I will be covering. I'm not gonna read them right now, but this is it, just for reference. So, the original trilogy. The Kuat RZ-1 A-Wing Interceptor, aka the A-Wing, was shown in Return of the Jedi. The starfighter was shown during the Battle of Endor. And has another variant, the RZ-2. And although I like that version more, it was only shown in the later movies and in Battlefront 2, the game, so it does not count on this tier list. I gave it a C tier. I would maybe give it a B, but the shape is really weird, and I'm not a huge fan of it, and the colors are boring. It seems more fitting for, I always say this wrong, but, I'm actually gonna give up. It's gonna be on the screen. Not to be used in a fight on Endor. Also, this is all my opinion, and, I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd, no offense, so I'm not gonna know everything, so this is really just going off of my opinion, and yeah, so just FYI, little preface. The ASF-01 B-Wing Starfighter. This starfighter was a slower variant to the A-Wing, but was heavily armed. The only movie that this starfighter was shown in was Return of the Jedi. I personally like the shape. I think it's pretty funky and silly, and I like how it rotates and stuff, and I actually have the Lego version of it. I want to give it a B.5, but that doesn't work, so I'll give it a B tier. TIE Fighters. This is an awful picture that I took of my laptop, but this is every type of TIE Fighter, which is a lot. Some of them don't seem real, main page, but I'm just gonna do a speed round of what I think of them, because we all know TIE Fighters, and if you don't, what are you doing? So, the TIE Fighter, aka the Twin Ion Engine Fighter. To give some information about TIE Fighters and their variants as a whole, they're usually not equipped with shields or a hyperdrive, which makes them mass productible and allows for considerable weapon payloads, or alternatively, for high speed and agility. The pilot has to wear a pressurized suit, as TIE Fighters also lack life support systems. I give this ship a C tier. I know it sounds really low, but don't be appalled, okay? It's just my opinion, and I feel like they look janky, and I think they are cool and nostalgic, and I really like them, but they aren't good enough for my liking. Also, they were in all three of the original trilogy movies. The TIE Bomber. TIE Bombers were used for exactly what it sounds like, bombing things. I give these a B for bomb. I like the separate sectors, or whatever you want to call it. This guy was shown in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Now we got the TIE Interceptor from Return of the Jedi. The points look like they could stab something, which I kind of like. I kind of wish the wings were filled out though, and not I'm using hand motions, you're seeing that. I don't know, I give it a C tier. Now we're gonna do the TIE Advanced X1, aka Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Turns out there's the same type of starfighter, which I wasn't expecting, or TIE Fighter. The regular TIE Advanced X1 is not shown in any movie, so I don't know, but Vader's obviously is. I kind of like the way it's extended, so I give it an A tier. Honorable mention TIE Fighters. There's a lot of TIE Fighters as were shown, so these ones are not in the movies. But I want to include all the TIE Fighters, so If you want to skip ahead, I'll have a timestamp on the screen, but we're just going to do a speedrun of this. The TIE AP-1 is an Imperial ground assault vehicle not shown in any movie. I honestly don't like it, and it's not because of the quality. I just think the things that stick up on the side are kind of stupid. And I give this a D tier F or whatever the endest is. Endest? The lowest is? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. The TIE shuttle. This shuttle was supposedly shown 3 times in The Empire Strikes Back, but I couldn't find any video or photo proof of it in the movie, so it's staying here. This design is fun, and it looks like the Time Bomber with the wings reversed, so I give it an imaginary B tier. The TIE Defender. I know that I said I didn't like the Interceptor's open space, but this is so silly and goofy, I have to give it an A tier. I think I'd be terrified if this thing was chasing me. It just looks like a big eyeball with weird things around it. It wasn't in any movie, obviously, so... Anywho, back to the original trilogy. We got the X-Wing. It's a classic, and I honestly can't go below S tier for this. It's so nostalgic, and it may seem like a rash choice, but I think the concept is so cool, and I just really love it. The Y-Wing. In my opinion, the Y-Wing's really stupid. The color scheme is ugly, and although I see the functionality as like a bomber, I think the design looks clunky and I'm not a fan. I give this a C tier for boring colors and because it looks impractical. The Prequel Trilogy. The ARC-170 Starfighter. This is also known as the Aggressive Reconnaissance 170 Starfighter, and I feel like it looks like a mosquito. Wikipedia claims that this Starfighter is versatile, that I can confidently believe. It was shown during the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith, and I've decided that this gets B tier. I kinda like it, but I can't in good conscience give it a better score due to its appearance. The Droid TIE Fighter. Although I can't find any proof, Wikipedia claims that the Droid Fighter appears in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, during the Clone Wars and used by them again, I don't know. I'm inclined to believe them, so here we are. I suppose I could be fact-checking all of this by rewatching the movies myself, but that sounds like a lot of time that I do not have to spend on this. I've already spent like months making this little slideshow, like I don't have time. I want to give this a C for circle, but it's not even that much of a circle and it deserves better, so A tier. The Geonesian Nantex class starfighters. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these. Again, I'm not an expert. These appeared during the Battle of Geonosis while carrying Anakin, Padme, and Obi-Wan. The advantage of this starfighter is the 360-degree view that it allows the driver to have. I think that these are mediocre starfighters. The shape is very interesting, and I like how the center is the pit of a fruit. What am I saying? What did I write down? The shape is very interesting, and I like how the center is like the pit of a fruit that is the starfighter. So I give it an A tier. I mean, why would it not get an A tier for that? I said it's not nearly good enough for I don't know. I have notes for all of these. So I kind of formed my opinions earlier. What does that mean though? Okay, weird. But moving on, the Delta 7 Aethersprite class light interceptor. These are also known as Jedi starfighters, and they're shown many times during Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Funnily enough, I find the starfighter be better looking as a LEGO version, which I have. I also have Anakin's starfighter, although I'm unsure if it's also a Delta 7, but I assume so based on the appearance. I can honestly give this starfighter an S tier. It looks so dang cool, and I love the colors and shape and overall design. EDA 2 Actis class light interceptor. The color schemes of these look very similar to the Delta 7s, which I actually like a lot, but I think the design is worse and I can only give it a B tier. The horizontal wings look weird and flimsy, but I do like the cockpit area and the gap in between the wings in the middle. These starfighters appeared in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin and Obi-Wan went to rescue Palpatine from Grievous. I know I say his name wrong, okay? I'm sorry. The Naboo N1 starfighter, shown in Attack of the Clones, The Phantom Menace, and Return of the Jedi. These things are honestly kind of sick. It looks really awesome, and I love the overall design and where the droid sits and just like everything. I don't know. The yellow looks cool here, and yellow like isn't a great color in my opinion. But this Starfighter, oh, I'm not even gonna fix what I just said. You get the point. This Starfighter was first shown during the Phantom Menace during the Battle of Naboo. They were shown again in Attack of the Clones and a third time at the end of the special edition remastered DVD version of Return of the Jedi? That's so random. I can honestly give this Starfighter an S tier, although I genuinely do not know why I like it so much. The Porax 38 Starfighter. This thing is ridiculous. I don't know what it was used for, but I don't really like the design or like any of it. It was shown in Revenge of the Sith during the Battle of Utapu. I give it a D tier. Soulless One. Sounds like a super cool name, and the design does oddly remind me of the Batmobile, but anyone who... What am I write the weirdest things, guys. Sounds like a super cool name, and the design does oddly remind me of the Batmobile. I agree. But anywho, it looks like a smart dog, but that's not what you want in a starship. What does this mean? This is General Grievous's personal starfish. Guys, this is his personal starfish in Revenge of the Sith. I don't like it. It gets a D tier. The V-Wing. This one's actually kind of awesome. Apparently these originally weren't supposed to exist and the TIE Fighters were going to take over, but George Lucas said otherwise. There's a lot of things that I could say about the technicality and uses of this Starfighter, but that sounds boring, because who cares about the V-Wing? So I'm going to give it a B tier and move on. The Vulture Droid. I don't know why I said it so excitedly. I've never heard of this before. It was shown at the Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith. I don't feel like explaining it anymore, because, like, it's time for the tier list, so let's give it a C tier. Here's a final honorable mention, though. This is the T-47 Airspeeder. This is the final honorable mention, because this is my favorite, like, ship in the entirety of Star Wars, but it technically doesn't count as a Starfighter, because it's an Airspeeder, so that's why it's here. I would give it an S tier all day, but I can't, because it doesn't count. I honestly don't even know why I like it so much, but I just love it. And it was shown like in Hoth on Empire Strikes Back. I said that backwards. It's fine. You get the point. We're moving on. This is my final tier list. I didn't include any of the honorable mentions or the extras because, again, they didn't count. So here it is. I didn't give anything an F. That's not true. I definitely did, but I think I said D or an F. Wait, I think I meant to give this an F. Whatever, it's okay. It's okay. That's fine. So, anywho, here we are. Here's my little thing. I've already told you what I gave everything, but here it is all laid out for you. Thank you so much for watching. I spent, honestly, months on this, so... like, really, thank you. Thank you for sticking around if you did. It really means a lot. And, I'll see you guys next video. Toodles!